Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Cristiano Ronaldo should be the captain at Manchester United, according to many Manchester United fans. Yesterday night against Atalanta, Ronaldo saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer yet again. Ronaldo scored twice in stoppage time at the end of both halves. Ronaldo scored in the reverse fixture against Atalanta at Old Trafford. Ronaldo also scored in the 3-0 win against Tottenham last Sunday. So Ronaldo has scored 9 goals in all competitions so far since he re-signed. But we need to stop relying on Ronaldo all the time. Ronaldo is the best player in the world overall. Back in September, he got named Premier League Player of the Month. Don't forget, in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester earlier on this season, Ronaldo tried to storm off the pitch, but Solskjaer stopped him. Prior to that game against Leicester, Ronaldo did inform Solskjaer that he wants to play in every single league game. After he was left on the bench in Man United's draw with Everton earlier on in the season. Ronaldo has got a contract with Manchester United until 2023. There's an option of a further year. He receives £480,000 a week at Man United, so reflecting on that, he's the highest earner. He wears a number 7 shirt, and we got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he should be sacked by Manchester United. But the problem is, if Manchester United do sack Solskjaer, who's going to come in to replace him? Because as far as I'm aware at the moment, no one is available. Manchester United tried to get Antonio Conte, but obviously we can't get him now because he's Tottenham's manager. If Manchester United do decide to sack Solskjaer, they'll have to pay 7.5 million. Because in the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year, and Manchester United certainly made a mistake giving Solskjaer that contract, because I can assure he won't see it out. Solskjaer is going to be staying at Manchester United at least until January. Ed Woodward isn't leaving Manchester United until January, and prior to the game against Atalanta, it said Woodward refuses to sack Solskjaer. Many at Manchester United were sure that Solskjaer would have been sacked, especially after the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool the other week, because there was reports coming out after the Liverpool game saying that, the Man United stars are losing faith in the manager, and Solskjaer was obviously losing the fans. Obviously after the game against Liverpool, Solskjaer refused to resign. And there's United fans that have been coming out saying that Solskjaer would resign if he cares about the club. This season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. And I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer. But I feel as though that the expectations are far too high for Solskjaer to exceed as Man United manager. I think Solskjaer's lowered the standards at the club as manager, and he is in a position that he shouldn't be in. Now, I hate saying this regarding Solskjaer, but I'm just being realistic. I want Solskjaer to succeed as Manchester United manager, just like all Man United fans do, but obviously he's not going to succeed as Manchester United manager. You know, regardless of what happens regarding Solskjaer, I'll always adore him because at the end of the day, he is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. So you've got to respect what Solskjaer has done for the club. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager for almost 3 years now, and reflecting now on his being at the club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learned a few different things on the job, but Solskjaer's still got plenty to learn because he is still a young coach. But there's a lot of United fans that have got reservations about Solskjaer's decision making. Analysing the vast majority of the games Solskjaer's managed at Man United is being tactically naive. And my other concern about Ole is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. You know, Manchester United endured a very good summer transfer window this year. Spent around £141 million. Brought 4 signings in. Brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Villa. Brought Sancho in from Dortmund, brought Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. And Solskjaer's received very strong backing by the board. You know, in the summer transfer window, John Murtough backed him, Darren Fletcher backed him. Ed Woodward's backed him, and the Glazers backed him, but only because they'd been persuaded to. Plus, Manchester United have got a very good squad. It's a title-winning squad, so in reality, Manchester United should be winning the Premier League this season. So, reflecting on what I've just said, Solskjaer has no more excuses. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason he got the job on a permanent basis was how well he did as the interim manager. And there is positives regarding Solskjaer, revert back to what I've mentioned before. I think Solskjaer has brought consistency back in certain aspects. You know, I do like the way he develops the youth, that's a positive. Solskjaer's more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. I think Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far, he's signed 14 players, and Manchester United have spent over 400 million under the Solskjaer era. Ole's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. You know, he's got rid of players permanently. He's loaned quite a few players out as well. You can say that some progress has been made under Solskjaer because Solskjaer's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season last season. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season, got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, and last season he got us to the Europa League final. And that was his first major final as Man United manager, but unfortunately we didn't win it. So there you go, and last season he got us a second place finish, and in his first full season he got us a third place finish. And don't forget, Manchester United went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. It was Leicester that ended our unbeaten run away from home in the Premier League. But Manchester United have been far superior away from home than they have been at home. Manchester United have been very poor at home. And we've also extended a lot of players' contracts under Ole. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer did say that he wants new contracts for 5 players. That's Maguire, Shaw, Rashford, Fernandes and Pogba. So there you go. And you know what? I expected Solskjaer to do a lot worse than he has done. So in that aspect, I am shocked. You know, all he knew when he'd taken over at Manchester United that it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin, and he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. You know, if Solskjaer does get sacked, he will be the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson. Manchester United have already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson sacked David Moyes, sacked Louis van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. And Manchester United are not even really known as a sacking football club because we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers. But our poor performances and the poor results we've had this season, not all of the blame stems from Ole. Yes, he's accountable for certain things, but like I've said before, there's players that have to take responsibility for those poor performances and poor results. It's never just all the manager's fault. But you know, Manchester United have got some very, very good players. You know, you've got the best player in the world overall in Ronaldo. You've obviously got Marcus Rashford. That's good. He was poor yesterday though against Atalanta. I thought he started the game well though, like I mentioned on my match reaction and the player ratings. You know, got some good runs in behind. But he's done well in quite a few games since he come back from that shoulder injury. You know, you've got Mason Greenwood, that's also very good. You know, Greenwood got the assist for Ronaldo's second goal yesterday. Greenwood made an impact when he came on. Obviously, he came on for the injured Rafael Varane. You know, you've got Jadon Sancho, that's also good, but he has endured a very poor start to his Manchester United career. And reflecting on that, fans have been getting on his back. But Solskjaer has to take the blame for Sancho's performances, because when Solskjaer decides to start Sancho, he persistently plays him out of position. Sancho didn't start yesterday against Atalanta, but he did come on. You know, you've got Edison Cavani, that's also good as well. Cavani didn't start against Atalanta yesterday, but he did come on. He scored a very good goal in the 3-0 win against Tottenham last Sunday. It was a lovely dink over Hugo Lloris. Cavani should have scored in the first half against Tottenham because he had a very good headed chance that just went wide. You've obviously got Bruno Fernandes, that's also very, very good. That was a lovely back heel by Bruno Fernandes to set Ronaldo up yesterday at the end of the first half. Fernandes obviously played in the 3-0 win against Tottenham last Sunday, and his contribution for 2 goals was world class against Tottenham. You know, you've obviously got Donny van der Beek, that's also a good player. But I haven't had much of a perception on him at Manchester United because he doesn't get enough game time. Van der Beek didn't start yesterday against Atalanta, but surprisingly he came on and he actually had a good chance at the end. That came from a clever run, so he could have won it for Manchester United. You know, you've obviously got Pogba, that's a good player, but Pogba was very, very poor yesterday against Atalanta. You know, he was very sloppy and he made too many errors. Obviously, Pogba didn't play last Sunday against Tottenham. He couldn't play against Tottenham because he's suspended. Pogba's got 2 games now to serve in the Premier League, so he's going to miss the game against City and Watford after the international break. Pogba got sent off for a 2-footed challenge on Naby Keita in the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. It looks like Paul Pogba's leaving Man United next summer anyway. You know, you've got Luke Shaw, that's a good left back as well, but Luke Shaw was poor against Atalanta yesterday, but on the other side of things, he put a good performance out last Sunday against Tottenham. He's been out of form this season, Luke Shaw. You know, where's the Luke Shaw from last season? Because last season, Luke Shaw was absolutely superb. Like I said before, I'm sure as the season goes on, Luke Shaw will regain his form. You know, you've got Tellez, that's a good left back as well. And he's done well in the games he has played in for Man United, but haven't had much of a perception on Tellez because he hardly plays. Tellez will only play if Luke Shaw's not available. The reason we brought Tellez in was to provide competition for Luke Shaw. I think Tellez is leaving Man United next year, by the way. Earlier on this season, Tellez was out with injury. You know, you've got Rafael Varane. That's a good centre-half. Like I mentioned, Varane went off injured yesterday against Atalanta. Varane has only just come back from a groin injury not so long ago. Varane made his return against Tottenham. What a performance he put out against Tottenham last Sunday. Solskjaer has admitted that Varane is a doubt for the Manchester derby on Saturday, so that is bad news from a Manchester United perspective. You've got Harry Maguire, that's good when he wants to be, but I think he's been poor in the vast majority of his games at Man United so far this season. He was very poor yesterday against Atalanta. Got caught out a few times, and Harry Maguire played Duvan Zapata onside. Obviously, that was Atalanta's second goal. They reviewed it. They overturned the initial offside flag. And you've obviously got Eric Bailly. That's a very good centre-half. Bailly played yesterday against Atalanta, and what a good performance he put out. You know, he made some very good blocks and he made some good interventions. The reason Bailly played is because Lindelof wasn't available. Lindelof picked up an injury in training prior to the game. It was the first game Eric Bailly had played for Man United since the game against West Ham in the Carabao Cup earlier on this season. My element of concern about Eric Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. But Bailly lost his place in the team, didn't he, a while ago? Obviously with the signing of Varane in the summer transfer window. And for some reason, Solskjaer seems to prefer Lindelof ahead of Eric Bailly. You've got Wan-Bissaka, that's also a very good right back as well. I thought he played well yesterday against Atalanta, like I said, provided width, showed some good attacking intent, and I thought defensively he was good. Bissaka put a good performance out in the 3-0 win against Tottenham last Sunday. You've obviously got David De Gea, that's a very, very good goalkeeper. Obviously, he was in goal against Atalanta yesterday. Like I mentioned on the match reaction and play ratings, De Gea should have saved Atalanta's opening goal from Josip Ilicic. That was the first real mistake he's made so far this season, but I thought De Gea was blameless for Atalanta's second goal. Obviously, De Gea was in goal in our last league game against Tottenham, and he had little to do in that game, but I do recall one part where he did make a poor clearance. Don't forget De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. And you've got Dean Henderson, that's a good goalkeeper as well. Henderson's only been in goal for 1 game so far this season, and that was the game against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. Don't forget Henderson was out with COVID for a while. Henderson did well though in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. So there you go. It's a good team. There's obviously inconsistent players at Man United. You know, I don't think Martial's good enough to represent the club. Martial doesn't really get in the team anyway. By the way, Martial's just come back from injury. I don't think Lingard is good enough either, and he doesn't really get in the team anyway. I don't think Matic is good enough, despite him having his good games at Man United. I don't think Fred's good enough either. You know, he's definitely a liability, is Fred. You know, do you think McTominay is good enough? I don't think Victor Lindelof is good enough either. So there's a few. So anyway guys, on my next video, I will be giving you the preview for the Man United Man City game. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.